Morning guys, a nice crisp morning here in Ireland. I thought I'd do a wee video on the Daihatsu Charade. It's a 1989 1 litre 3-speed automatic. I think I'm the third owner on the vehicle. It's in overall good nick for a car that's coming up to 35 years old. It's about 89,000 miles on it, and it's had a nice bit of work there over the last couple of months. There was a good bit of rust on it when I bought it, so I had that sorted in the local garage. It's received a full service, coolant change and thermostat change as well, and 2 new tyres on the front. Just thought I'd do a quick walk around. So we've steel wheels, 13-inch steel wheels. It's a 5-door model, no central locking, no electric windows, but there is electric mirrors, which is a nice touch for a 1989. I do love the boxy shape, and on the Charades I love the arch over the back wheel, the way there's a cut off. So at the front you have the kind of semicircle arch on the wing, but on the back you can see it's kind of cut down nice and flat. A lot of cars of that era would also have the semicircle arch, so I suppose it's a nice touch. There is a couple of dents and scratches along the car, but sure, as long as it runs grand and looks alright, that's the main thing. I'll take you inside now and show you around. So no central locking. It is unlocked now, but it's key operated. Most cars of this era will have the key which will do starting the car, opening the car, and then you always have that famous second key, which in most cases open the boot or the petrol tank filler cap. So I haven't started the car yet this morning, so it's going to be a cold start. So I will need the choke, which is located down here. What I'll do, I'll start it, let you hear the engine starting from cold. I'll close the door then, and I'll show you around what controls I have. So what I'll do is I'll turn on my ignition. There's 2 notches on the choke. First notch, I always put it out to the second notch when I'm starting her cold, as I'll need to give her a bit of gas as well, just to get her going. It will sound quite strong now, the engine, when it starts, okay? So you can see there it went up to 3,000 revs straight away. Once it starts, then I leave the choke out a wee bit, just to keep fuel going to the engine and to let her heat up, because if I turn it in straight away, you can see she kind of struggles a bit. So most cars with chokes anyway, you need to leave her out for a wee bit. And temperature gauge on the left. I then have my apologies, there we go, my gear indicator below the rev counter, just to let me know what gear I'm in. That lights up then with either, I think it's green, red or orange. I'll show you that now when I go through the rest of the vehicle. To our right then we have our fuel gauge. It's kind of interesting because here we have, so she's obviously not turned on now, so it's shown low. When it goes up to the middle notch is fine, but when it goes to full, then between full and the middle notch there seems to be a lot more fuel in the tank compared to when it's at the middle going down towards quarter and empty tank. There seems to be, just whatever way it's laid out, you seem to have more in the second half of the tank in the Charades. Over to our right then we have the speedometer. So it is only going up to a maximum of 99,999 miles. So after that, it's going to show all zeros, but we all know it's going to be 100,000 plus. We have underneath then our trip speedometer. So it's a 1989 Irish car. It's going to be predominantly in miles an hour, which is the white figures. In 2005 then we turned over to kilometers. So that's in the green there as well. So there won't ever be issues driving an older car with kilometer speed signs. If people who are unsure how to differentiate, most of the cars have it anyway. I'm able to say the difference because I'm so used to old cars by now. What I'll do is I'll turn on the ignition just to show you what controls I have. So you might hear that in the background now. The fan by the previous owner has been wired to be turned on the whole time because the Charades, they were prone to head gasket issues and overheating, so I presume it's just a precaution that the previous owner done. So being a Daihatsu and mainly a Japanese car, I have indicators on the right hand side. So I'll have indicators, parking lights, dipped beams, full beams, and flashers then as well. So I'll show you my indicators first. So that's a nice click off them. I have lights. So there won't be an indication on the dashboard to tell me that my lights are on. It'll just illuminate at night time. And then I have my flasher. And then constant high beams on there as well. To our left of the stock then we have wiper control. So I have, if I bring it towards me, it'll put water jets then on the windscreen. And I have 3 speeds, so intermittent, regular, and then high. So I'll put a wee bit of rinse onto the windscreen first. So intermittent. Regular speed, which actually looks very slow. And then fast speed. Nice 1980s Daihatsu horn. I'll open the door here now so you can hear that. And then I do love the famous toot you can do with these. It's so much easier to do them on these. I'll try it now. Normally I can do it with 2 hands, but I need 1 hand for the camera. Yeah, it's a lot easier when you have a free hand. Over then here we have our back wiper wash and our back wiper activation. So I'm gonna show you first of all what it looks like. So if I press it in, water will come out, and then I'll need to turn it. So I can turn it once or twice then for constant. And just to show you then what the control looks like here. So push in and then turn once for intermittent, and it'll say intermittent on the icon here. And then I have on then for constant on. Over to the right then I have apologies here, rear Mr. Defogger. That'll illuminate then when I turn it on. It is a lot more visible then in the night time. I can't push that in, so I only have on or off. Above that then I have rear fog light. And then I'll just turn the lights on just to see what illuminates on the dash. So no illuminations, but there is a little light here that tells me the fog light is on. I also have here then the trip reset. So it's at 385 at the moment. Pop that back to 0 if I want to go on a little trip and see how everything's going. Center console then we have mainly fan and radio. So I have heat, so either cold, lukewarm, warm, direction of fan speed, nice little dials going across, and then I have fan ventilation throughout the car as well. Underneath I have a radio which does not work, unfortunately. There seems to be a couple of wires out the back, so I say that's the main cause there. You have ashtray covered with pennies and cents from years ago, which is pretty standard. Underneath then we have a digital clock, which, please bring these back, so easy to amend the time, literally hour and minute. Below then we have our 3-speed automatic gear shift changer. So it's in park at the moment. Apologies now for the shine. So the P symbol will illuminate. I can't move this now without pressing that button in once it's in park. So I'll press it in, go back to reverse, into neutral, into drive, second gear, and then I can't go into low gear. There you go, L, without again pressing that button in. So I'm going to push it in now. Low gear would be crawling in first gear, so traffic, or you know, if I'm in a lot of stop-start traffic, for example. I can move about second, drive and neutral as I wish, but to go into reverse or P, I have to push the button in here. Just to show you then what it looks like on the dash. So I'm in park now. Go into reverse, which turns kind of like an orangey colour, into neutral, drive, second gear, and into low gear. So behind then the gear stick, I have a little cubby here, which I don't think I've ever really used. If anyone knows what these little grooves are for here, let me know. I have a manual handbrake then, so I'll pull it up, button pressed, and then I'll pull it up with no button pressed in. Behind then I have another cubby, and behind that is ashtray for rear passengers. So being an 89 vehicle and quite base spec, I've no airbags, passenger, driver or curtain airbags. There's no cup holders in the car either. There is a decent sized glove box though. There's no security lock on it though either. Door cards then, very basic. So I have manual locks for each door. I have the door handle, and I have manual windows and very, very small pockets in the door cards. I did mention the electric mirrors. I'm going to leave that now for a sec after the door cards. I just want to show you them now in full motion. So again, same for the driver side. There is, I know a lot of people go on about hard plastics. I don't know what scratchy plastic is, but it's rare now to see a full plastic door card. There'll be normally some sort of cloth or some sort of, you know, appealing material to the eye, but this is just hard plastic. Onto the mirrors then. So I have driver side and I have passenger side. Some Charade models now did not have a passenger side mirror, but this one must be slightly actually higher spec. So underneath I have my mirror control. So I have middle section here now where it's off. Go over to L. Sorry, it's off there now. I can go over to L for left and then R for right. So I'll go over to right and I'll show you the mirror here now moving. So it's lovely to see such a basic car. Like I said, almost 35 years old, and the mirror's still working. Lovely. So I'll knock that off, back to the off position. What I'll do is I'll show you around the back now. I have the seat fully pushed back in my seating position. I'm 5'10". I'll show you then what space I have in the back seats. Sorry, being no central lock, and I'll have to unlock windows manually. So, sorry, doors manually. So on the back we have less options on the door cards in the back. We just have a handle with a very small cubby, release for the door, manual locks, and then I have manual windows. There is 3 seat belts in the back with 1 lap belt in the middle. In Ireland it was in law to have seat belts in the back until the 1st of January 1993. So I suppose that's a good plus. So when I'm sitting here, like it's fine for short distances. It wouldn't be very comfortable long distance. My knees are right up to the seat, along with my shins. There is a good bit of foot room underneath though. Headroom. Again, apologies for the fright. Very little headroom, but I can go back just about, scraping the roof of the car with my hair. There is handrails for all passengers. None for the driver though. They need to have their hands on the wheel. It is a 5-seater, but I think it'd be very tough fitting 3 people back here, especially 3 adults. We have then headrests in the front. There's none in the back. So a little notch here if I want to adjust them to my setting. All seat belts will have pretensioners. I'm pretty sure they're called, is it? So they'll lock, except the except the middle seat belt that has to be fit to your own liking. So it's like an airplane belt where you'll have to adjust it to your own size. I'll show you into the boot now. So I have 2 options. I have a release switch underneath the driver's seat, or I can operate it by key, along with getting into the fuel tank as well to fill up with petrol. I've actually 3 options. I'll tell you 2 of them now. So I have a release underneath the seat as well, or I can get in by the key. So here we have boot, and then back here I have to get into the fuel cap. I love these levers for reclining the back chair. They're very swift. There's no winding, so you're not there all day doing it. So you can literally see how easy that is to maneuver around. There we go. So I'm going to go into the boot now, and I'll show you. Oh, I actually want to show you one other thing, which is good for an 89 car. If I leave the lights on and take the key, I have a buzzer. So that's actually very handy. Save you coming out to a dead battery. So I've released the boot, so this will open. Forgive the absolute mess inside. So I don't know if it's the hydraulics in the boot struts, if they're just becoming tired, but the boot sometimes won't actually hold up. It's doing a good job now, but if I even tip it, you know, she'll slowly keep coming down. There we go. So sometimes you kind of have to hold it in place just to give her kind of some sort of memory. Underneath then I have full-size spare wheel, and it's an okay size boot. You'd get a few bags of shopping in there anyway. I'll just show you then operating it by key. I'm not sure off the top of my head what key it is, so it's this spare key here. There we go. So, fuel cap. I released it there at the switch underneath the driver's seat, so open away. I can operate it, I'm sure, by key, I never honestly use it, so I gotta hold it in here first just to see does it even twist. So it's not that key. And that key, no, not even. So I have two ways then to open it. Sometimes I'll just literally do this and she opens. So what I'm going to do now is I'll show you around the engine bay and I'll show you how to get to it first. So again, in most cars, underneath the steering wheel, I'm pretty sure it is, have a release cable here, yeah, there we go. And I'll open that up now and show you around. So very basic, very easy engine to work on. Everything's very accessible. We have the fuel level stick here, 1, 2, 3 spark plugs, leads, battery, we have windscreen wash, coolant, and memory serves me, I think fuel filter is just down there. An air filter then will be under here. I'll start the engine up and let you know how it sounds. What I'll do then is I'll start it from the rear of the car so you can see what the exhaust sounds like. There was one thing as well I forgot to show you in the boot area. So when I am filling up the windscreen wash for the boot, sorry, for the back window, here's my reservoir in here. So that's where the windscreen wash goes for the boot window. So little Charade, lovely car to drive. I'm not going to lie, she does not keep up with modern traffic. Off the bat you do have to drive the car and she does take a few seconds to go up. As per Google, I think it's 16.4 seconds 0 to 60. I done a 0 to 60 miles an hour test yesterday. I must have had a lot of food for dinner because it took 24.3 seconds. She is a really nice car. They would be very rare here now in Ireland. With Daihatsu being founded in 1951 and then Toyota taking over most of the production, I think, is it 2016 maybe, Peradua was literally the only form of Daihatsu that is now left, and they're mainly in the likes of Malaysia and Japan. Overall, I am very pleased with the car. It is very nice. It is lovely to drive. I took it on a 300 mile round trip there in 24 hours 2 weeks ago and she didn't miss a beat. She starts when I want it to start and hopefully it'll keep going now for a good few more years. I do aim to do another video soon. I have a 1989 Crown Victoria decommissioned police car from the States that I want to do a video on, so hopefully that'll be coming now very soon. But hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions or comments, guys, let me know. Thanks again.